Can't wait to see the shots that Blake Harris and Carson Elledge get there as Jim Bushy will bring the HendrickCars.com pace car down, and Brent Cruz and KHI will work their way into the Death Wish Coffee start zone. Sit back and enjoy this one from Langley. Brent Cruz will lead lap number 1. Lewis files in second as most of the field tries to get single file further on back. However, Matt Waltz kind of taking advantage of some of the checking up we've seen on the inside.
But both he and Bobby McCarty have never won a Cars Tour sanctioned race here at Langley before. Quapple, however, has never finished outside of the top 5 in his efforts, and Bobby McCarty has ventured up into the top 10 in just about every start that he has had here except for one. They're starting to float their way to the front. That's the battle for 6th and 7th respectively, with Hefner still trapped to the outside of the 95.
And this is why you have to try and get down as quickly as possible. There was a little bit of an open window there for Hefner to get down in front of Bryce Applegate, was not able to do so. And how about the couple of efforts that we have seen the last couple of weeks from that 45 car of Bryce Applegate? Had his career best run last week, as you mentioned, but clear through the Death Wish Coffee restart zone. It's a good launch on the outside, though, for Landon Lewis. You can see that second car on the outside. Great launch for that number 15 Leisure Time Reynolds Chevrolet and Ryan Millington as well. Cruz will drive away with the lead for now, but Landon Lewis may try to challenge off of turn 4, or at least get clear for second. He's just about able to down into 1.
Boy, the field is tight here for second on back. Lapsevich up to the door number of that of Landon Lewis for the battle for second. And you see Lapsevich there slide up the racetrack a little bit, nearly into the side of Lewis on the outside, with Butterbean watching on there in 4th. And here comes Bobby McCarty to try to get up to the top 5 while they're bouncing off each other for second.
Again, everybody wants to get down to the bottom, but then you have a couple of stack-ups that you could try to take advantage of, as you'll see a little more contact between Lapsevich and Landon Lewis. I know everybody here is cheering for that 03, but I think that 6 car that's behind him is just a little bit faster right now. In fact, he's the fastest car on the property each of the last 3 laps that we've turned. So McCarty starting to flex some muscle and pull up to this battle for second.
Hard crash.
Buddy Isles Jr. hard into the wall. That's in turn 1. As he noses it at an awkward angle just in front of our camera operator in turn 1.
From what we see, pulling in front of Cody Dempster in the 24.
Well, and you can see the damage on that number 24 car. So, yeah, I think that's shut and dry case there as to who else may have been involved in that one. Cruz, Queen get us fired back off for 70 more laps here at Langley. Queen hanging tough on the outside. They'll be side-by-side off the corner as the crowd comes to their feet.
Just about wheel to wheel at the end of the back straightaway to 3. Queen doing everything he can to keep pace, gets a little wide and a little sideways. Fans still trying to wheel on Butterbean as they touch one another in turn 1, and Cruz now has a half car length advantage and is clear for the lead off 2.
Cruz washes up a little bit in the center of the corner now. Butterbean gets back down to the bottom. He does so in front of Trayton Lapsevich. Meanwhile, Lapsevich, your top 5, who is now getting hounded by the driver who used to pilot that race car last year, Connor Hall, able to make the move by. He's up into the top 5.
Big Hall got a little bit loose on the bottom of the racetrack and may have touched the left rear of Lapsevich, who sends it back up the inside on Connor Hall. In this fight for 5th, that's just about side-by-side off the corner, but again, Hall prevails at the exit of turn 2.
Last lap, Connor Hall has done so as well. Trouble turn 2, Cade Brown battling for 6, goes around, and the Shitty Coolers caution will be displayed. Oh. Man,
we needed that. My goodness,
where's an oxygen
never seen
tank?
anything like that.
We're ready to settle it. Side by side, off of turn 2. Hall with a great drive off the corner. He may have what he needs down into turn 3. Connor Hall pulls miles ahead. Queen trying to fight on the bottom. Hall up to the lead as he gets by Brendan Queen.
It took until 15 laps to go, but Connor Hall made the top side work. A little bit of body work dragging on the backside of the 03 right now as he runs in second. That may be some of the rear Nerf bars and bumpers underneath that bumper cover. And right now, Queen is hoping that thing makes it to the finish and does not draw the ire of officials.
Yeah, that's the biggest worry there for Brendan Queen is Connor Hall just absolutely putting it on him right now.
Right now, McCumbee may have one of the faster cars in the top 10, all over the back of Millington, who's all over the back of Waltz.
Oh, trouble!
No!
Queen goes around off of turn 2. Caution is out. And Eric, at least from what we caught there, I don't think there was any help in that. He just spun off the corner.
What happened to Brendan Butterbean Queen with Brent Cruz behind him and the bumper dragging off the backside of that car?
Oh, he didn't hit him. He hit the debris.
Wow. So Cruz appeared to catch that piece of rear bumper bar that was hanging off the race car. And that may have been all it took to upset the back of that car enough to send him around. Let's go to Brian.
Brendan Butterbean Queen in the pits. They are working on the back of this race car to get the piece of debris, the metal, pulled off. They've indeed done that now. It was dragging on this race car for the last several laps. As a matter of fact, he was posted the black flag to come in and take that off. He spun the car, and now he's come down pit lane to have that removed. He'll rejoin the rear of the field. Butterbean on his way to a win. At least it appeared that way. He was inside the top 2.
They were going pretty slow, and the best launch is that of Carson Quapple on the high side. 8 laps to go, and the 8 car looking for the lead here at Langley.
And 8 wheels make corner better than 4. They rope together off of turn 2 to turn 3. Hall's going to shove him up wide just a little bit to get back to the race lead as Quapple cuts underneath him to turn 1.
Hall slides, Quapple cuts down to the inside. Hall going to try to hold steady on the top side. Quapple drifting off the corner as they'll nearly brush doors into turn 3, and in fact they do. Quapple sliding on the bottom. Hall hanging on the top side. 6 laps to go. Brent Cruz waiting in the wings if something happens to your top 2.
Look at how wide Hall had to go there, but he's got a good drive off the corner. Can he clear the 8 car? Just barely. But Quapple's trying to keep the fender inside as Cruz joins the party.
Connor Hall swatting flies, the crowd cheering him on here at Langley Speedway. It is all Connor Hall who has opened up a gap of about 7 to 8 car lengths.
Physical when he had to be, and right now hoping he can make it back to the line. Here comes Connor Hall, who had to work very hard for an opportunity to stare at the white flag at Langley.
The crowd goes wild, white flag in the air, and one more lap around here at Langley. There's some trouble in turn 4 though, and the Shitty Coolers caution is out. Brandon Pierce, Katie Hettinger have gone around, and we may have to settle this one with another restart. Hall gets back on the binders, but Quapple a better launch on the top side. They're side by side down into 1 for first and for third. They lean on each other out of turn number 2.
Right now it's Hall still on the bottom. Not enough room for Quapple to slide under. Here they go into 3 as Hall runs wide to the white flag. It's Hall to the race lead.
Quapple may try to cross over with the white flag out. 1 more lap to go here at Langley. They get side by side for second. Quapple behind Hall. What does he do? Down into 3. They'll be 3 wide down into turn 3. Elm 3 drivers slide up the racetrack. A drag race down to the line. And just by the skin of a nose, Connor Hall wins the Visit Hampton.com 125 by 7 one-thousandths of a second, and he does it in the top lane, and he didn't need the blue car to do that.
Here's a look at what happened coming to the checkered flag. Quapple slid down underneath him. Cruz was just about already there, and now the 8 car runs up the racetrack. Cruz to the bottom, and it is just this close at the line.
Oh my goodness.